Nairobi is freezing cold, but nonetheless, Millionaire Mind with Linda Lela has to go down because the lessons that we have in terms of business for you are lessons that we cannot afford to let you miss on. So the love of a mother is just out of this world. You know, every other time you talk about the love of a mother, you can see almost everyone getting goosebumps, like I am getting goosebumps right now, just trying to relate of how much a mother can love you. So today we talk to Lucy Kingori, who's the founder of Bu.ke, of course, to take us through her experience when she was dying and trying all her level best to go out there and seek remedy to what was her son's condition, that is eczema. So out of this condition, she learned a lot of things. She got this gem that she certainly said that, you know, apart from it being a love of a mother or love of a mother for this particular little young boy, I'm going to extend this love out there to the world. And out of this need to extend the love is when she formed the Bu.ke business, where she deals with matters, you know, skincare products and also products to do with the hair and so much more that you would use to ensure that you make the best of your physical appearance. So let's get to listen to her story and equally pick lessons that can help us certainly start up our very own businesses.
Hi, my name is Lucy Kingori, founder and CEO of Bu.ke Brands. Bu.ke Brands is an artisan luxury brand that deals with hair and skincare, organic hair and skincare. I am a mom of two boys, a 5-year-old and an 11-month-old, and they are my inspiration for this running this brand. Actually, my first job was back in 2001. I worked at a shop in Yaya Center, Home Care and Hardware, where I was in charge of sales of TVs and other home items, and I was there for about 6 months. This was immediately after high school. I was not lucky enough to go to campus immediately, though I went later on to start working first to help support my siblings. After that, I enrolled in some courses, some IT courses and a bit of accounting, and I worked in a farm called Mashapral on Mombasa Road. And in between, I tried businesses, different businesses. I'm into fashion, so I remember I had a beauty boutique for the longest. I ran a boutique business for the longest up until 2014, and I learned a lot in terms of money handling and understanding the market. And that was the last business I did before I got into this, and this has been it for me. Formulating hair and skincare has been the best thing for me, and yeah, I'm here to stay. My 5-year-old was born with eczema. That was in 2014 February, and it was a skin condition that meant him scratching himself raw, having sleepless nights, and that also meant me having sleepless nights. So for a while, my husband and I looked for a solution, and all we came across was steroid-based creams and oils. And what the steroids did for my son was they turned his color. They actually bleached him. They'd sort the eczema out, but then they'd lighten him. And for me, that was a problem. So I started looking for a more natural solution, and a friend of mine who had the same issue mentioned that she had been using butter from South Sudan. She was actually South Sudanese herself, and I went into South Sudan and found the cream and brought it back into Kenya. I used it for about a period of about 2 months, and my son's skin issue was sorted. Rather, we were able to manage his skin condition using nothing but the cream. And for me, I just wanted to share it with the rest of the world. So I found packaging. I went to camps first, then I started selling.
Well, as they would say, one man's meat is another one's poison. And today on Business Niche, we want to talk to Lucy and just get to understand how this particular product or products that she used, to get that lasting solution for the son's condition, sort of was something that she felt like she would need and she would want to share it to the rest of the people out in the world. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for finding time. And of course, your story is quite captivating. Every other time you listen to a story of a mother, there's some level of warmth in it. And now this one goes a notch higher in the sense that with that warmth comes, something that will literally also bring offering food or putting food, on the table of your little boy. So moving forward, we'd love to hear that story even more and just get to know, and with the kind of sensitivity that is there today in terms of the skin, in terms of the hair and all that. How have you managed to sort of meet these clients and meet their needs and actually convince them that indeed this is something that you've been missing out on?
Okay. So first of all, mine has been a testimonial more than anything, and we all know seeing is believing. So I was able to convince clients to use my products this way.
Yeah.
I had my son as a testimonial. I had before and after. As much as no mom wants to put their son out there, I knew I had to share this. So I had before and after photos of my son,
right.
And I'd show them to the clients as a way of reassuring them that what I was offering would actually help their kids and themselves. For some, it was the adults. So they saw my before and after photos of my son. I broke down the benefits of the products, and they slowly tried it. They liked it, and they sent others to me. The best kind of marketing, I believe, is word of mouth. Yes. It carries no weight. It's just only just chanting online about how good this product is. Yeah.
Someone has used it and they speak about it, definitely
Even
gives
better,
someone so much confidence. So before you even got into this level of saying that, okay, now this is a product I want to get into the market, did you have at some point fears of not getting the right product? Because many a times you go to the shops, today you buy this product, it works magic on you, and the next time you go, you get a product in the same packaging, in the same name, but then again, it's a totally different affair. So how was it like, just penetrating the market and knowing that indeed this is a product I'm going to bring from day one, and it is quality, it is the very same product that I used?
So originally I was not worried about how easy or hard it would be to get in. I was 110% confident in what I was offering. The product in the market has been fairly easy. As I mentioned, the testimonials have helped,
Right.
and a lot of the time I don't get to have a one-on-one with a client, but somehow I get to find out that the client bought the product, it worked with their child, and they liked it, and they've sent maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 other clients. So for the longest, I haven't been worried about it getting into the market.
Okay, let's go back to the inception stage where you sort of started this, and we all know that business-wise, the name is very important. The way you brand, the way you package is equally very, very important. So when I was trying to do my research, I noted that there was the change of name at some point in time. What informed this? And business-wise, what could be the effects of changing the name at some point? Maybe people are accustomed to this brand, then all of a sudden, boom, you've changed. There are people who would argue changing of the name would give it more power, would give the product more power and a new feel. Others would argue that because someone identifies with this brand, it would not be wise to go ahead and change the name. So what was the effect right after you did that?
So originally the brand was shared by ASAP. So I combined that name to represent the names of the 4 ladies in South Sudan who are helping harvest the shea and send it to Nairobi. After a while, I expanded from just packaging the shea butter to formulating soaps made with the butter and others without. By quickly noticing a span of about 2 years, I realized a lot of clients assumed that all my products had shea butter in them. So I was losing out on some clients because they all assumed that the products had shea. So I had to find a way around that, and the only way for me at the time was to rebrand, because of the name shea, they assumed it's all not shea. So I decided to rebrand. Yes, it was not easy, and I was scared. I was thoroughly scared because I was not sure what would happen. I decided to just change the name and find out, because Also, my business was still very young. It was about 2 years old at the time. And I probably struggled for maybe 6 months because clients, actually due to this, there are some clients who still look for the brand share by ourselves. So we have to tell them, okay, we rebranded, but the products are still the same, the quality is still the same. So I feel we lost a few clients, but we gained a lot more after that.
With such a range of products, like sort of very common in the market when you talk of shea, but every other person is coming with shea and they want to name it their name and all that. So how do you manage just stay, at that point whereby your product is convincing enough to the client?
Number one, quality is on top. We can vouch for our shea right from the harvest before it even gets here.
Okay.
We find that a lot of people want to buy it online and just sell. So they can't vouch for it. If anything happens to a client's skin, they can't come and tell you, oh, this and this happened because of that and that. They just want to sell and go away. So for us, our quality, it may be slightly more expensive than the West African one.
Right.
But the quality, you cannot...
You can't compare it.
You can't compare. You can't compare the quality. So that has helped us still stay relevant in the market.
So mode of selling and advertisement, because that's very important. So how do people get to know that indeed this is a different quality? Aside from the word of mouth, aside from the fact that you can tell your sister try it and she would recommend it to somebody else. The mode of advertising is key. How much do you advertise and at what point do you sort of decide that this is my mode of selling? Is it online, like very many people have decided to go? Is it a retail affair whereby you're going to sell it to a retailer who's going to go again, sell it to other people? Or how exactly do you just ensure that your clients get your products?
So far it's been, for the first 2 years it was online.
Yep.
After that we started to sell via distributors. So we have different distributors in Kenya and outside Kenya. So we sell through cosmetic shops, pharmacies, and the likes.
When you talk from the point of harvest, the first thing that rings a bell is that this is a natural product. So how was it like venturing into the natural product business? Because in as much as you always told natural is the way to go, there's always that feeling you want something that has been refined, something that has gone an extra mile
with
through
the
some
pretty
machine.
packaging.
Exactly, with the pretty packaging and all that. So you can imagine
Yeah.
that the packaging could be as beautiful and maybe the actual product is not as beautiful. So just how easy was it?
It was not easy. It took me about, almost a full year to get into the market, trying to push the natural agenda. I remember this was in 2014. I registered my company in January. I started struggling with caps by April, and I didn't get into the market till September the same year. Yes, trying to convince people that this butter that came from a tree, from a nut, would actually sort skin, and they're like, no,
Really?
let me just go to
The usual thing I'm used to.
Yeah, with a pretty packaging, it will probably work. And I'll be like, no. So I remember for almost a whole year, I had to camp outside malls myself. I'd set up a table and camp outside the malls every Friday and Saturday and explain to each and every client walking by my table what this was about. And it actually paid off because the year after, by the the year after, halfway through, the shops actually approached me.
Wow.
And they wanted to stock my product. Okay, bring that, whatever you have. As I said, it's slightly more expensive than the West African one.
Yes.
But they believe in the quality. I was able to convince them. Yeah, that natural is the way. Yeah.
Speaking of packaging, very important in any business, but extremely also very expensive. Most of the people will shy away from it because at the end of the day, this is what I'm selling. I'm selling the product. Why should I focus so much on the packaging? Your packaging is equally as beautiful.
Thank you.
To say. So the effort put into that, and the convincing aspect of it. I don't know whether your first product was packaged in a way. The very first one that you used on your son, you probably were just given something and you could sort of get
actually in a paper bag, in a plastic bag. Then I had to go right to the source to get it. Then come back to Kenya and try find packaging for it. By the time I couldn't, because of my pockets, I could not afford great quality packaging. So I had to go with what was available at the time. And unfortunately, as Kenyans, myself included, we like pretty packaging.
Yes.
So it was hard. There are those who bought because of the product, but there are those who doubted or like a packaging. Like I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it in my bathroom. So they actually had their doubts. So as I said, back to the quality. Thank God for quality because it really sold.
But equally, packaging is very important.
Equally, packaging is important. We recently released a range, a tea range. It's the first ever. I mean,
In the country. Ever.
not in the country, in the world.
In the world. Oh,
There's no purple tea hair care anywhere if you Google.
Wow.
So we released it. We had to launch in Dubai, but we knew we couldn't take our packaging to Dubai because of the standards.
Yes.
The quality of packaging we have in Kenya is not the best. So I was like, okay, I'd like to release a new product. But at that point in packaging it this way, then I try export, then I'm sent back. So I decided to just go to China and get my packaging done and fill it to a good Kenyan product. Yeah, so we're able to ship our tea range and launch in Dubai in April. And it's been awesome because of the packaging.
Wow. We cross over to colleague talk. Let's get to hear what, of course, the people who work with Lucy sort of think about just penetrating the market with these new products, and most importantly, African products for that matter, and how much they pride in that. And then later on, we'll be talking matters money on Money Talk. And on colleague talk, we talked to Ashley Kale, right?
Yes,
I got it right.
Kale.
I got it right. High five me. Yes, who's going to be taking us through about like basically what the experience has been like working with Bu.ke. Do you know that feeling where as colleagues you always have a feeling that you hate the boys, you like the product and everything. You always want to go to the next job and all that. How has it been like sort of just working with Bu.ke yourself?
My experience working with Bu.ke has been amazing. I've been working here for 2 years now.
Wow.
And it's been an eye-opening experience seeing how Lucy works with her business. This is like her third child.
Wow.
She puts so much care and effort into it. She's always doing research, always going the extra mile to see what would do better, what she can add to certain products to make it better. She's always on the nose with her clients. She's always waiting for feedback, responding to feedback, and I feel like that customer service, that customer care is just, it's so good because customers build a kind of companionship, a kind of respect for the company. So you have people recommending other people to come try Bu.ke products, because when you get so much effort from the person who's running the business, it gives you that feeling of, you know what, I can trust this product because she knows what I want and she knows what I like and she's working towards making it even better for me.
And now let's talk, Besha, they would call it our money pesa, right here on Money Talk, where we get to understand the intrigues or the matters, just the papers. I call them the papers because that's the most common name so far. You mentioned the papers and everyone is like, yeah, you do not run any business when it's not giving you anything that you can pride in terms of money. Otherwise, it's pointless for you to invest so much and do not even have the hopes that maybe in future this is going to be something that is worth the hassle. So it will be very important for you to take us through your journey, the startup journey, because every other time you're talking about business, you could be having the idea, but what about the finances? What about the capital? So what was the range of capital that you sort of used to see this, up and running 101%?
So I'll start with 2014. Back in 2014, I did not have a business plan. I just had a product and that I was excited about, and I just tried to jump into the market, which was a bad idea. So when I was starting, I didn't have an idea of how much I needed to get from point A to Z. I didn't even know how far I wanted to get. I just knew I liked products, I was a creative, and I wanted to sell.
Wow.
So later is when I joined Strathmore Business School, and I learned a lot about planning before starting a business, the importance. It was not too late for me, because now what I learned, I applied after rebranding. Yeah. So for my kind of business, I can't really give you a figure to start with, because I'm still trying to scale as it is, and getting to different stages. I'm moving from stage to stage and sorting that out. So you find that there's a lot to be done. For example, you have to pay for all your certificates, permits and all that, setting up shop. So it depends really on what you want to do. Your packaging, that can vary. It can cost anything between $10,000, and more.
Going up.
Yeah, so it depends really on the kind of business you want, how big you want it.
Right. When you put so much money on this, and you still believe in this brand, then it means that maybe you've seen a ray of hope in it, and you suddenly know that this is going to give you returns at some point in time. So at what point, I know you're still moving, you're still going on, and continuing to push your products and getting other new products in the market. So at what point did you sort of say, finally, I have enjoyed at least some proceeds or some profit from what I am doing from this product? At what point? And how did it feel?
Took a lot of patience. I didn't even notice I'd gone for 3 years.
Oh.
Without really enjoying my business, my returns.
Yeah.
But for me, the time spent was more valuable than the amount injected. I injected money in bits.
Right.
I'm still doing it. So it took a while. So what I'd say for anyone who wants to get into this business or any other business is to have some sort of patience.
Patience is key.
Patience is key. And don't look at it in terms of money. The time spent more valuable. The time you put into it, the effort, I find that more valuable than any amount I've put into it. The effort is what will pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of course, when you talk about having a plan, you suddenly have the end goal and what you want to achieve. So in between, what happens is not really a matter, but basically what will be the end game. What would be your advice in the event that someone looks to start a business? Do you advocate for them to sought financial institutions for help, or better yet, that aspect where you say you've gone to a point of just expounding your education for the sake of this? Would you advise them also to take that route?
First of all, I'd advise them to have a business plan.
Yes.
That business plan will guide them to knowing how much they require for whatever project it is.
Okay.
From there, they can decide if they have a bit of savings, they can start with that. Always start with what you have. If not, see if there's a family member who buys into your dream. Try work with them. Get some money from them. If you don't have some of your own, work with that. If you really must, then try a bank or financial institution, but be very prepared to forever have a ball and chain on your ankle. It depends on what you're comfortable with, but it's always advisable. Start from home. Work with someone someone who believes in your dream. And as you scale, you can be bold enough to approach a financial institution. Never a shark loan.
Never a shark loan? Why?
I've had stories.
You've had an experience or stories of other people, yeah?
Thank God I've not had an experience, but I've had stories.
One special financial lesson, apart from the ones that we've mentioned, that you've probably picked through your journey and you want to share it out to the people?
You must have a tax agent. Because a tax agent or accountant, because you can buy raw materials for 2 shillings, then you sell them for 7 shillings, and you think you've made money, but you've not calculated a lot of things in between. Your overheads that are constantly standard, your movement, how long it takes to turn around that 2 shillings. So you must have someone who takes care of your financial aspects for you. They don't have to cost a lot of money, and they don't have to be in-house. There are very many places you can outsource, but that will be your downfall. You not having a grip on your financials is your downfall. More than anything, you have the best idea, the best packaging. If you don't sort that out, you're doomed. You're short-lived in the market.
Wow, need I say more? I think that is the biggest lesson that we picked today. It's very important that you have people around you who understand also.
Have a team, yeah.
It will definitely help you take the brand or take your product or take your business to the next level. Time for us to cross to quickfire. I know you don't know what quickfire is all about, but you will get to learn about it in a bit, so keep it right here.
If I could choose my nickname, it would be Kalulu. So yeah, because say that. My least favorite type of music is hardcore rap because they cuss a lot. Yeah. If I could live anywhere else in the world, it would be Curacao. For breakfast, I had masala tea and mahamri. I am a night person. My favorite color right now is purple. I don't like flowers. I'm not a spontaneous person. I am afraid of spiders and curry.
Well, Lucy, thank you so much. I don't know, probably you could give us that one lesson, one biggest lesson in terms of business that you would want, the viewer to go away with at home and, just say that, okay, well, if I want to start a business, then probably this is one lesson that I would pick, or this is one thing that I would go with, and I'm sure I'm going to be successful.
My one thing would be, if you're passionate about it, by all means go for it. But if you're not and you want to start stealing people's ideas and owning them as your own, then be prepared to have a lot of work to do, a lot of work on your plate.
All right. Thank you so much for having us. And of course, we have seen the great products that you're having in the market. The only thing that is left is for us to try, right?
Yes, yes, means
yeah. I'm certain we're not going to, it's a must have, yeah? It's certainly a must have. Every other time you're thinking about, physical well-being, that you certainly want the best of a product for yourself. So when you're talking about the best of product, there's nothing as better as having a vendor, as having a person who's going to be out there in the market doing business that will certainly give answers to this particular problem, or give answers that would actually make you look the part every other time you're matching out. We always say that, confidence come out in the way you look yourself. So if you're having the right product for your skin, for your hair, for anything, then you're certain that the confidence will be more or less automatic. It was great having you. We have learned so much. Pick the lessons. Thank me later. My name is Linda Alela on The Millionaire's Mind.